Myself, Clerk Key, went ahead, signed the check so that we could release and make sure vital services continued. Because the mayor's office was disappointed in that, they contacted our bank. The bank essentially said, we're not playing these games.
So the bank said, yeah, no, we're not playing those games. Y'all not going to write checks for this and then have somebody else call and say, no, you can't run those through. No, they're not. Ain't nobody trying to figure out who has the right of way. We ain't doing that. So they literally have to find another bank, pull out whatever funds they have in that bank, which I mean, at this point, was it like $40? They got to move that $40 into another bank. Tiffany left them with nothing, honey. She left them with $40. Hey y'all, it's your girl J9 Eve. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, get into the comments and let me know what you think about this. Like, about this. Lots of things happened last night at the Village of Dolton. The trustees had a meeting, basically because the last Village of Dolton meeting that they had, the trustees didn't show up. And that was the meeting where Tiffany decided she was going to appoint some new people, okay? She picked the Geppetto to be the administrator, okay? Which they already have an administrator. But she done picked one. She done gave this man this pretend job because it ain't his job because she lied to him, okay? And he over there thinking, I got this job. I'm going to tell my mother I'm going to move out of the basement any day now. That's what he said to himself, I'm sure. I think. I'm assuming, okay? But at this meeting, a bunch of things some things got cleared up. Some things they didn't really have to get undone because they weren't really done. Tiffany just says they're done. You know, she's living in Pretendville right now, okay? She's like trying to create some pretend memories that she could take to prison with her. That's my guess. That's my guess about what it is that she's doing, okay? But we're going to, watch a couple of news clips to kind of give us an idea of all the many things that happened at last night's meeting. I thought it was a simple way to kind of sum it up, all right? So let's hop in to number one.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard was a no-show for this special meeting called by village trustees, but she was still the target of scathing public comments.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop until she's behind bars.
Ooh.
And at some point, she is going to have to answer to some of this stuff.
Without Henyard present, the trustees taking sweeping action, approving a temporary moratorium on travel and meal reimbursement for elected officials and employees, amending rules on check signing requirements, and approving 18 business licenses that trustees say had been held up.
Ain't that something? Now that's going to be helpful. I'm glad they're starting to actually get into some of the stuff that really got screwed up. Like, one thing that I've learned about Dolton, okay, is that the Village of Dolton is that since she's been in office, it's like there's been no new businesses, but there's been a bunch of businesses that they already had that have shut down, and they've had no new businesses. Something funny I learned last night, even the Domino's pizza license, unless I heard this wrong, this is what I thought, the Domino's pizza in Dolton, she was holding up their license. Domino's pizza, y'all. They don't even serve alcohol at Domino's Pizza. So like most of the time when she would say she was holding up these licenses, the reason would be because they alcohol permits and stuff like that. This is Domino's. What the hell are you holding up Domino's Pizza for? So it's nice to see that they're starting to actually get into correcting some of this type of stuff that was going on, because that's crazy right there. So approving those business licenses so these businesses can start opening back up, and oh my God, I know she's been loving this little bit of power. She's been holding it over these people's head. She wants somebody to beg her for something so bad.
We have real issues that need to be addressed, and that's what we're here to do and move this community forward.
Yes. The board also approving a new firefighter contract that it negotiated with its attorney through 2027 after the union went without one for 4 years. Firefighters blaming Mayor Henyard for numerous canceled bargaining sessions.
Yep.
The trustees did what they had to do, and it was slam dunk, everything.
Yeah, slam dunk. Ain't he cute? Short king. He's the cutest little thing. I love his nose. I don't know, it's something about it. I don't know. I like his nose. I'm a weird person. I think it's cute.
It went very well.
Trustees also finalizing action to fire Deputy Police
Yes!
Chief Louis Lacey, seen here at a previous meeting.
Oh, that's another thing that happened. Yes. So, like, he's gone. He's not even a cop, period. Like, not just in Dolton. He's not even a police officer anymore. Yeah, so he's not even a cop anymore. He's not a police officer anymore. That's just funny. Like he's not only is he not one in Dolton, he's not one period anymore. His shit is fucked. I think back to, like, it feels like 5 minutes ago when I was like, oh, I just want something to happen to him so bad. Like, but I don't know what the thing would be. Like, what would, like, I hope that some of this rubs off on him and he gets some of this wrath as well. But I didn't know how it would form, like what it would show up as. It's so funny to know that he completely is stripped of anything even remotely like a badge. He's like bankruptcy court. He is fucked. He's fucked. And it's just wonderful. I don't want to wish bad on people. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person. Who wants to be that person? I don't want to be, But he sucks. So fuck it.
Lacey pleaded not guilty last month to federal bankruptcy fraud charges. And that same day, Henyard and Lacey were recorded telling officers he's still in charge of the department.
Oh, and that is also something that was funny. So there was a letter. The police at the station, they all got together and wrote a letter that said that they have no trust in this because he's supposed to be their leader. And he's telling them things to do. They're like, I don't even know if we're supposed to be listening to this guy anymore because we were told he's not even supposed to be here anymore. He got fired. But then she would come in and she would say, yes, he is still the guy. So you guys have to follow him. So they're like, we don't even know. We at this point, we think we may be following someone we're not even supposed to be following. He's telling us to do weird, shady shit. And then we're going to get all fucked up behind it because we're doing stuff we're not even supposed to be doing. That in this situation they're in with the leader that they're supposed to be following. So this meeting, when he came in with her, apparently this was right after they turned that letter in. Lacey stood up here in this meeting. I made a video about this. He stood up here in this meeting and said, anything after this point, but after that, y'all already sent the letter or whatnot, but anything after this, okay, is going to be considered insubordination. That's what he said. That's what he said to them. If you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted to do was a name, okay, it would be, I know what it would look like. It would be shaped like a silverback, okay? Like Lacey. Lacey is definitely shaped like a silverback, okay?
But now the state agency which certifies police officers lists Lacey as inactive, with an August 14th separation date from Dolton Police.
Damn.
This is our community. We need to take it back. And we will continue to fight as we've been doing for the last 3.5 years.
Yes,
Multiple
honey.
messages left for Henyard's personal attorney were not returned. And in recent months, Henyard has not responded to repeated requests for comment from ABC7. In Dolton, Eric Hong, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, I bet her lawyer ain't responding. Why would he? Okay? It ain't like he got any answers. Well, there any good ones at the very least.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard's attorney called last night's meeting unsanctioned and illegal.
I bet.
Still, trustees took aim at two of the latest issues facing the village.
Dolton trustee Stanley Brown entered last night's special meeting to a round of applause.
Yeah, which I thought was funny that Stan Brown showed up to this meeting. Stan Brown showed up to this meeting. He never shows up to those meetings, just like Tiffany don't. Tiffany don't, Stan don't, and Andrew Holmes don't. Okay? None of them ever show up to this meeting. Okay? They do not. But I thought it was funny that last night Stan shows up. Something else that happens last night. Somebody's in the audience holding up a sign that says something like, don't trust the trustees or whatever. Like, the dream team is a scam or something like that. Like, holding up this sign, and you could hear somebody hooting and hollering outside. I've never heard this. This has never happened before. That has never happened before. I found it funny that though the girl in the crowd holding up this sign, okay, the person yelling outside also all happened on the same day that Stan Brown decides to come to this meeting. I wanted to believe Because I've wanted to believe. I've been saying for a while that I just think that Stan is like Stan Brown, this fella right here. I think he's just one of those people that just kind of follows whoever is in charge. He's just kind of like basically like a loyal soldier. Like he's just, supporting whoever is in charge, period. And like, that's what I don't know if I wanted to believe it or if I believe it, or I believed it all the way up until last night. That's what I thought. And that's what I would say. But after last night, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Now I feel like maybe he might have been sent to spy. I wouldn't be surprised if like in his pocket, he had his phone in there and it was on like speaker. So she could, like kind of, well, I guess she wouldn't need to. I guess she could just watch it live. Okay. So maybe she didn't. Maybe I'm thinking too hard on that, but I do think she may have sent him to be just to kind of say some stuff, kind of to give some type of pushback on some stuff that they were doing. Like, I don't know. I just don't trust it. It just seems so suspicious to me. Okay.
He is one of the only remaining allies of Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard and has never attended one of these special meetings before.
I'm not here jumping ship, or I never was on the ship to jump the ship. Always been here. But I like to do what's right, and that's very important. And every resident in this village deserves that.
Mayor Henyard was absent as usual. Last week, trustees postponed the regularly scheduled meeting, but Henyard went ahead without them, using it as a chance to defend her leadership. Leadership that's been called into question by those living in Dalton after several WGN Investigate stories that documented lavish trips with taxpayers footing the bill.
Taking these trips to all of these conferences and bringing back absolutely nothing means that you're just taking trips on the taxpayers' dime.
Trustees voted last night to impose a moratorium on travel reimbursement for elected leaders and village employees.
This is the we mentality and leadership that we need.
The village also announced it's searching for a new bank. Its current one put them on a 60-day notice after the mayor pro tem, as authorized by ordinance, signed checks to pay some bills.
Yeah, now listen to this. This just sounds crazy what happened to them. So their bank kicked them out, basically. Like their bank has said, look, y'all, nah, we good. Y'all need to get y'all shit and go. This is how bad it's gotten. Now listen to what happened, okay? House is going to tell us.
Myself, Clerk Key, went ahead, signed the check so that we could release and make sure vital services continue. Because the mayor's office was disappointed in that, they contacted our bank. The bank essentially said, we're not playing these games.
Yeah, so the bank said, yeah, nah, we're not playing those games. So y'all not gonna write checks for this and then have somebody else call and say, no, you can't run those through. No, they're not. They ain't nobody trying to figure out who got the right of way. We ain't doing that. So they literally have to find another bank, pull out whatever funds they have in that bank, which, I mean, at this point, was it like $40? They got to move that $40 into another bank. Tiffany left them with nothing, honey. She left them with $40 bucks. Okay? $40.
New at 10, a chaotic meeting of trustees in South Suburban Dalton. There are questions about following protocols in hiring, and now the village needs to find a new bank. Our Jermont Terry has the latest chapter of Dalton's dysfunction.
Here we go.
Another month and Dalton Village trustees sit down to handle business, not at City Hall, but at the Parks Field House. Absent from the monthly board meeting, Mayor Tiffany Henyard, but present for the first time, Trustee Stanley Brown.
I have residents that said come to this meeting, some said don't come to this meeting.
Brown hasn't sided with the 4 trustees previously who've been outspoken about the mayor's lack of accountability.
I'm not here jumping ship, or I never was on the ship to jump a ship. Always been here.
No, you was definitely on that motherfucking ship, okay? Let's not play coy, okay? I didn't completely throw you under the bus, okay, with the Tiffany. But don't lie. You were just saying yes. You were going along to get along with Tiffany, okay? If Tiffany said she wanted something to go a certain way, you would vote the way that she wanted. You did that every single time. Every single time. Okay? So, no. Yes, you did. You was on that fucking ship. Okay? You was on the ship. I do believe that you haven't jumped the ship, though. You are still on the ship, okay? She sent you over to climb on the other ship to play spy and to infiltrate and try to, throw some wrenches in the gears, okay? But yeah, you still on that ship, okay? Don't start lying over here, all right? Oh, I hate that for him because I really wanted to believe that he was not that guy, but I guess, you know what I'm saying?
Earlier this month, Trustee Brown did leave when the mayor continued on with a board meeting despite not having enough trustees to do so. The city attorney making it clear any action taken wasn't legal. And that meeting, Henyard appointed a new village manager.
It's our legal opinion that the mayor failed to follow the municipal code.
Yet Thursday night, the board made it clear they never approved the hiring of a new village manager, adding since Keith Freeman, the current village manager, was indicted for falsifying his income taxes for a bankruptcy filing and now working with the federal investigators, Freeman is now doing his job.
We are able to get...
Ain't that funny? He robbed the shit out of everybody. He lied about his taxes, got his tax charges, and now he's decided, you know what I haven't done this year? I've done so many things this year. But you know what I haven't done this year? My job. So now that I've fucked up everything else, and now that it could possibly help me to get out of the mess that I've made and the hole that I've dug and crawled into, I think I'm going to do a little bit of my job. Oh my gosh. That's terrible. That's terrible. And he still gets to get paid too. It's that part for me. It's that part for me. Okay.
Get things done. Keith Freeman is finally doing the right thing, and he's protected by the Whistleblowers Act. They want to remove him.
Back in August, this Illinois state comptroller decided to freeze funds to the village because it had not received audits or financial reports for 2 fiscal years. Yet now,
so now we're in the process of doing a reconciliation of the previous fiscal year.
it was also revealed that the village's bank was so fed up with the back and forth and irregularities, it ordered the bank to close its account and take their business elsewhere, which leaves the village just 60 days to transfer whatever funds are available to a new bank.
Damn, they got to move that whole $40. That is terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible, y'all. They got to take that whole $40, them two $20 bills, they gotta get them out of that one bank and they gotta put it in another bank. Okay, that's what they gotta do with that $40 that Tiffany left them. That's all that she left behind. When she ran off with a suitcase full of money, those 220s must have slipped out and just flew in the wind, and they found them and they put them in their bank, and now they gotta move them to another bank. That's terrible. Tiffany is the worst. Also, shout out right here. Y'all see this this lady right here? This is the clerk, the assistant clerk or whatnot. Remember that Tiffany fired because she was back talking her, honey. She was giving her the business and she fired her illegally. She's back. Now, what would be nice is if they have in the next meeting they have, let her be there to do her clerkiness. Let her clerk it. Ooh, let me know in the comments. If you are still here watching this right now, let me know in the comments how you feel about that. If they let this lady come in and be the clerk at the next meeting and just let the cards fall where they may, honey. I love it. I love it. Y'all behave, okay? Because I'm not going to do it. Absolutely not. It's been a fun little recap, okay? You know what I'm saying? Of what happened last night. That was crazy. It was hilarious, but crazy and a little bit sad and annoying too. Because, I think we might have a spy. You know what I'm saying? But mama love you. Yes, she do. Ooh,